What's the difference between for and since in English? In this video, I'm going to teach you everything you need to know about for and since, including different meanings of since, how to ask questions with for and since, and much more. First, take a look at these two sentences. I have lived here for 5 years. I have lived here since 2020. What is the difference between them? Before we move on, make sure you subscribe to my channel and get your free English grammar booklet from the video description. So, I have lived here for 5 years. It's the present perfect. It means I moved here 5 years ago and I still live here now. So for is for talking about duration. How long? We've been friends for 2 years. Again, for is for talking about how long. So we started being friends 2 years ago and we are still friends now. Again, it's the present perfect. I have lived here since 2020. Since is for talking about when something started. So I moved here in 2020. That's when I started living here, and I still live here now. So again, it's the present perfect. We have been friends since 2020. So again, since is for when it started. We became friends in 2020 and we are still friends now. Coming up later in the video, what is for ages? How to make questions with for, and it's not that easy, and why you should be careful when saying since when. So make sure you keep watching. But first, let's talk about this. You can see that for and since are often used with the present perfect tense in English. I have worked here for 10 years. We have been friends since 2020. That's the present perfect. But you can also use for and since with other tenses. For example, the past perfect. When I visited you in New York last year, you had lived there for 5 years. So you started living there 5 years before I visited you last year. You can also use them with the present perfect continuous. I have been waiting for you for 10 minutes. So I started waiting for you 10 minutes ago and I'm still waiting for you now. I've been learning French since 2015. So I started learning French in 2015 and I'm still learning French now. But what about the past simple? You can't use since with the past simple. So you can't say I lived in Paris since 2020, but you can use for with the past simple. I lived in Paris for 20 years. This sentence means that I lived in Paris in the past, but I don't live in Paris anymore. When you want to talk about when it started, you can say from. So I lived in Paris from 2005 until 2010. It means I don't live in Paris now, and that's why it's in the past simple and not the present perfect. Don't forget to get your free English grammar booklet from the link in the video description. So what's the difference between I lived in Paris for 20 years and I have lived in Paris for 20 years? The first one is in the past. I don't live in Paris anymore. I have lived in Paris means I moved to Paris 20 years ago And I still live in Paris now. So the meaning is completely different. Now, what is for ages? It just means for a very long time. I have been waiting for you for ages. I have been waiting for a very long time. So I started waiting for you a long time ago, and I am still waiting for you right now. It's the present perfect continuous. I was waiting for you for ages in the morning. It means in the past, in the morning, I was waiting for a very long time, but I'm not waiting for you now. It's in the past. It's the past continuous. So how do you make questions with for? You don't actually need it in questions. You just need to say, how long? How long have you lived here? How long have you been married? To answer these questions, you can use for or since. I have lived here for 5 years. I've been married since 2010. Now, why should you be careful when saying since when? Since when is a phrase that we normally use when we don't believe somebody or we don't think something is right. Since when are you vegetarian? Are you really vegetarian? I don't really believe it. So since when is a way to question something that we don't think is right. Since when are you vegetarian? I'm confused. As you can see, there is no present perfect there, but it's a very different meaning of since. So it's an exception. Think of since when as a sort of an idiom. And the final thing, another meaning of since. Since you ate the cake last night, we don't have any dessert tonight. Again, there's the past simple there. And it's an exception because it's a very different meaning of since. In this sentence, it just means because. So it's a different way of saying because you ate the cake, we don't have any dessert. Now let's do a little quiz. For or since. I have known Jess for or since 10 years. This sentence is about how long, so we need for 10 years. It means I met her 10 years ago and I still know her now. He has lived in this town for or since he was a child. So this sentence is about when something started, when he started living in this town. So we need since he was a child. They have been married for or since 2005. Again, we're talking about when something started. So when they got married. Since 2005. That's when they got married and they are still married now. We have been waiting for you for or since 2 hours. This sentence is about how long. So we need for 2 hours. We started waiting for you 2 hours ago and we are still waiting for you right now. How many did you get right? Let me know in the comments and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I'll see you next time. Bye!